Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live in Tier 1 in UFRL, and tonight is the infamous British Grand Prix. Critical, everybody will be going all out for the win around here, especially in that hard-fought title race. The battle between Pesci, Hazer and Lynx heating up, just 9 points between the trio heading into round 10 this season. What a season it has been so far for those three, all having picked up race wins this season. Merck has also picked up a race win himself, and he lies in 4th place. A few drivers are taken to the track, but obviously it's a beautiful circuit round here. Absolutely brilliant. You get so many overtaking opportunities, heading straight away down to turn 1 at Abbey. What an opportunity that could be. But it's not the biggest opportunity, because you may see that already a bit later on in the lap, but you'll certainly get chances heading down through at turn 6. That would be a massive opportunity as well for drivers as they'll head down into Brooklands. But then also you may get the odd opportunity through Copse if you want to take a risk. Of course, that was where Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen had their collision, so that'll be interesting as well. If anybody wants to take a risk going into Copse Corner, then they might indeed go for it. And then you've also got the biggest opportunity, of course, down a Hanger Straight into Stowe, and that is the best opportunity for overtaking here at Silverstone. Anyway, we're going to get the first driver. We'll start a hot lap very, very soon, and we'll go just up to them right now, and we'll take you to the track. Here we go then, down at Silverstone, and straight on board with Kennedy. Just ensure, hopefully whoever's watching, please let me know if the game audio and the mic audio is all good. Kennedy just kick-starting his lap then. He does have a couple of drivers just up ahead. The Aston Martin in particular, I think that will be either Mr. Poem or Steve Lane, but he's just coming up right now, and the Aston Martin firmly moves out of the way. So here Kennedy will run, and into, of course, down at Brooklands he goes, and through the curve down into Lidfield, into Woodcote. And let's see, down at Woodcote you get the great exit on, and then you dive down into Copse Corner. Again, the mighty Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton crash was right here at the Copse Corner. As Late Bloomer, I think, might be doing some race control duties. But here we go through the tricky Maggots of Beckett, where your race can be won or lost through Maggots of Beckett alone. And now on the exit down into the Hanger Straight we go. And here the Mercedes, of course, purple through sector 1, but doesn't hold on to it. The AlphaTauri goes quicker. That may have been Hazer. I get the presumption he is on a hot lap himself. Hazer just in behind, but Kennedy now just on the rundown. And this will be critical corners for him as we head down into Club. And here we go, down a Hamilton Straight. Kennedy sets a 27.0 to go quickest, but I'm sure this man here, Hazer, will go quicker, and he does. It's a 25.7 from the AlphaTauri of Hazer, and that is why he's battling for the championship. Coffee 26.1, he goes second fastest in the Alpine. And here comes Tajani, third fastest. It's a 26.2 for him. And there you go, the two Alpines currently are battling, but Bad Boy just edging ahead of Tajani, only 13 thousandths behind Coffee, and goes third fastest in the Red Bull. And we'll chop it down now. Have a little look at the Ferrari of Black Panther, third fastest for him. Look how close it is, P2 down to P4, just 13 thousandths of a second. Black Panther goes third fastest. Mr. Potwash does go through, and he goes 7th place. He has got his McLaren teammate Pesci just behind him. Will he be giving his McLaren teammate a slipstream, particularly down around the Hanger Straight? That could be a chance there for Mr. Potwash to help his teammate. I wouldn't advise helping him heading down into Brooklands, but I would advise helping down the Hanger Straight. Let's see what he does. I think he may even try helping here. Yeah, he's giving him a slipstream here, so he will move out of the way at the last second for Pesci to go through. A little bit of slipstream, and it will have a positive impact on Pesci's lap, so we'll go to him now. And just watch the McLaren. How much can he fight Hazer and Lynx here tonight? Merck as well. I think Merck is pretty strong here at Silverstone, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do. Mr. Poem as well, yet to set a lap, but he will be coming through And I think he is on a lap, but whether he is on an official lap, well, he is using some of his battery, but not that much of it. Only about half battery use, and he does go into the pit lane. And that means Steel Lane will come up then, 28.6 at the moment. And Steel Lane, 26.7, goes 7th fastest. So there is an improvement for him. Hazer, meanwhile, stays out on track and will run again. But we're going to go back down to the McLaren because here comes Pesci. Round through and heading into club. And now taking its time to get second place. 25.9 for Pesci, the second driver, to get a sub 126. Good effort from the McLaren. Had no confirmation at the moment in regards to the sound. So I'm just hoping that you guys can, in fact, hear the game audio as well. Please do let me know, anybody who is watching, if you can hear the game audio or not. But anyways, LAS Jerem returning as well. He hasn't raced in a few weeks, I do believe, in fact. But the Ferrari now is on his first hot lap of the evening. And Link's Peace as well, preparing to start his first lap in the Red Bull. Thank you, bad boy. Thank you for the confirmation. Best of luck as well on tonight's race. Kind of glad the game audio was there. And is it like loud enough and all that? That's what I also need to know. Can you hear the game audio and hear my mic well enough? That's the question. But yeah, obviously I don't want to take too much of your time because I know you'll be readying up for another lap. Let's keep on with LES GM then through Maggot to Beckett. Critical opportunity for all of these drivers here. Perfect combo, thank you. I'm pretty glad to hear that, in fact. So, LES GM, you've got the AlphaTauri, sorry, of Hazer coming through. Will he go quicker? He does! 25.7. He has improved, but it was only by 9 thousandths of a second. He always does it, though. He always improves on his second hot lap. And here comes Kennedy as well, just coming through. 7th place for him at 26.2. Although that's gone down because through goes Jerem. What an effort from the Ferrari, 25.773. And he's only missed out by 0.03 of a second to Hazer. So the Ferrari is on the front row and he's edging out the two title contenders. Well, splitting them effectively with Hazer P1, Pesci down to P3. Pesci, of course, can go again. Judge Santi as well, 25.920. 4th fastest for the Haas driver. Another great lap. Drop it down as Bad Boy has taken to the track, so he can't be talking to me anymore. And Kennedy also just in behind the Ferrari, going a little bit close to the Ferrari. In fact, the Ferrari just getting out of the way of the Mercedes. The Mercedes is not on a hot lap, however, so it wasn't entirely necessary, but I think that might... There you go, now we slow it down for the Ferrari. Maybe he's run out of fuel. Has he run out of fuel? This could be... Yeah, he's just moved out of the way of the Alpine there. Rusted Bolt also coming through, currently in the top 10. And we'll stick with the AlphaTauri. Is he on a hot lap as he just exits out of Cops Corner? And now through into the Maggot to Beckett again. But the question is Bolt improving his lap time here? And now Squirmy, but getting through, and he's improving by 3.5 tenths through the Sector 2 split time. So onto the hangar straight now. Will Rusted Bolt go much quicker through into Stowe now? And here comes the AlphaTauri. There's the pit exit. Very easy to enter the pit exit, or pit entry today actually. Silverstone makes it relatively easy to enter the pit lane. Other tracks a little bit more complex. Rusted Bolt improves by about half a second, 26.0, and goes into the top 5. Good effort from the AlphaTauri there. As Coffee also starting a lap and is improving through the Sector 1 split time. And let's see further down the field. Anybody else? Is Merck on a lap? Yes, he has just started one, but not using up his battery. Other drivers as well have just begun laps. Tajani improving by 1/10 of a second through the Sector 1 split. Bad Boy kick-starting a lap. Black Panther starting a lap as well, just ahead of Bad Boy. And Coffee losing time through the Sector 2 split. He did maybe get some slipstream from the Mercedes. Possibly, I think that was Salty Stevens reserving tonight from Tier 2. Good opportunity for Salty Stevens to showcase some of his pace. He definitely has some, that is for sure. Coffee then, here we go. The Alpine former Tier 2 driver goes into the top 5 himself. So 25.990, great time there from Coffee. Rusted Bolt still out on track, but he won't be going for it on this occasion. Steel Lane, or he'll just be starting a lap now. and the Aston Martin will go into turn 1 himself. Let's see with Tajani improving by a tenth of a second through the Sector 2 split. And here we go again through into Vale, and now we'll exit into Club onto the Hamilton straight. Tajani goes 5th fastest, 25.943 for him, as Pesci prepares another lap time as well. So let's see what he can do. There was an improvement down, and Merck goes 14th fastest, 31.6 his first time, but not using any hot lap. So let's go with the Red Bull, the bad boy. I know we didn't have the best of times last night, but there we go. Bad boy goes 7th fastest. Yeah, during his little practice running last night, it didn't go too well for him, so I do presume he must have amended some things on his setup to ensure he has a bit more balance. But there you go, P7, a good qualifying lap, but definitely needs to ensure he's got the stability here at Silverstone. Drop further down again towards Mr. Poem, but he only goes into the pit lane, so back up we go towards Salty Stevens, and improving by 0.3 of a second through the Sector 2 split time. So it's a good, strong improvement for him. I did notice somebody did, I think Mr. P tested out the sound alerts earlier. They won't work when it's on that original screen. Salty Stevens 11th fastest in the Mercedes. But yeah, the sound alerts won't work on the initial screen. Speedy Bullet, let's go Alpine, currently all third row Alpine, with Tajani heading Coffee, who's just ahead of Bad Boy by 0.008 of a second. That's Prezi starting a lap as well. Again, another one reserving tonight, Mr. Potwash. Just running slowly, perhaps just prepping for a lap, letting the Red Bull go through. And Pesci, I think, has just finished a lap, in fact. Does go third fastest, the McLaren, or stays third fastest, rather, as Merck also improved to go 4th fastest. So good improvements there from the McLaren and the Williams. Pesci edging closer to the top 2, who remain in the pit lane. Just over 5 minutes of qualifying remaining. It's Hazer, Jerem, Pesci and Merck in the top 4, but most of the drivers are the top 8 drivers, in fact, sub 126. Then a few drivers, Bolt, Panther, Kennedy just outside it. The other 3 who haven't set a time, well, they haven't set a time, so they can't obviously go sub 126. But the majority who have set a time have done a sub 126.0 so far. Now Prezi press on a lap. No, he's not, because he's not using his hot lap mode. So he's not on a lap. We'll go up. No, we won't. Not Salty Stevens. Let's see how these two are doing. I presume neither of these are on a lap. And indeed they are taking it slowly. Back down towards Prez we go then. And again, it's not an official hot lap. Not using his ERS, 30.2, but now he can push on and set a lap in the Alfa Romeo. So in terms of who can get pole tonight, you're definitely looking at the top 4 as the key contenders. I don't know who could Link's Peace maybe push out for pole. I mean, he's definitely shown pace this season, there was no doubt about that. And the Red Bull, well, 9 points away from the top 2 in the championship, Hazer and Pesci. So there's still a chance for Link's Peace, but he definitely needs to set a lap time. Mr. Poem as well, the reigning champion, in fact the reigning double champion, having won Tier 1 and the International Tier last season. Currently yet to set a time as well. Prez staying, of course, in P15, but improving by 1.5 seconds through the Sector 1 split. And therefore, it would only be fair to stick with the Alfa Romeo, heading through Maggott to Beckett once more here. Is Prez. And let's see what lap time can the Alfa Romeo set. He's improved by 2.8 seconds. So a strong improvement, as you'd expect, with his battery on point. And here we go with Prezi. Where can he place his Alfa Romeo again? He's holding tonight. I don't think he has not reserved in Tier 1 this season, I know that much. Here we go with Prez. This will be interesting. Where can he go? 27.2, it goes 14th fastest. Only Mr. Potwash further down, 27.8 for the McLaren, although I don't know why it skipped me down towards the Aston Martin. For no reason, because I guarantee you I did not even skip down, but either way, Black Panther on another lap. And he's currently just in the top 10 and just under 3 minutes remaining. So this is when people will start to push on for pole. Russell Bolt improving by just under 1/10 of a second, and now the AlphaTauri goes through and he stays 9th fastest. He does not improve. He may get one more lap at things, Rusted Bolt, but no improvement on that lap time. So not ideal from him. Coffee starting lap. Hazer as well. Let's go with Hazer because he is on a hot lap. I mean, he's clearly going to try and improve on his current time of 25.742. It's a time for the AlphaTauri to beat here. Getting the slipstream from his teammate Rusted Bolt. Perfect timing for the AlphaTauri duo. And he's improving by 1/10 of a second. And again, if you give the slipstream through the hangar straight into Stow, of course you've got to take into consideration maybe a bit of dirty air through Maggots and Beckett's if you're close enough to the car ahead. So there can be benefits on not doing it on the exit of Maggots and Beckett's. But here we go with Hazer again, and just going now through into Maggots and Beckett's. Of course, you do get the DRS activation point round here. So the DRS activation point to see if you're within 1 second of a car ahead, you will get DRS. As Prez ends his qualifying session in the pit lane. It's a 27.2 for him. Hazer was invalidated, and that is that game over? He's got to recover his battery to go again. Has he got the fuel to go again? He is now going again, but he's not got much battery. 60 seconds just over left. Has Hazer finished his... is that game over for the AlphaTauri? He's into the pit. Hazer, that is the end of his qualifying session. He invalidated at the very dying embers, and he may not take pole now. He is at risk. Black Panther is going into the top 4. Great effort from him. Coffee as well, up into 6th place. What about Tajani starting a lap? Rusted Bolt. Of course, we did see him last time. He did finish a lap, but he's going again. What about Kennedy as well? He is not improving through the Sector 1 split. Hazer retiring in the pit lane. And Kennedy not improving through the Sector 2 split as well. So we drop down towards Mr. Poem. Here comes the Aston Martin. He goes into the top 5 with a 25.840. Just behind Black Panther. It's a brilliant time from him. And now the cars will be coming through thick and fast. Kennedy only goes into the pit lane. And now this will be a massive chance. Pesci's on an outlap. He'll have to get through. He will get through to start a final lap. Panther cannot improve. Jerem is improving by a 10th of a second through the Sector 1 split. That will be enough for pole as things stand. Pesci, well, Stacey improved. That was on his last lap. Mr. Poem, of course, ended his lap. Merck currently in the top 6, and he will stay in the top 6, or will he? He's going again. He's got the hot lap mode on. This is a chance for Merck as well. Coffee, the lead runner of it, but he is not improving. Let's go down towards Rusted Bolt. He will be the next driver to cross the line. He's improving by 0.2 of a second. Big chance for the AlphaTauri. Big chance for Rusted Bolt, with his teammate currently on top of the pile. Can Bolt go quickest? He's going to have a chance, you know, to get high up the field. And here comes the AlphaTauri. Here comes Bolt. And the Lithuanian goes 7th fastest. And a good effort from him. Judge Santi now in the Haas just behind. Currently P9. Where will he place that Haas car? Judge Santi across the line. Goes quickest. What a time. Here comes Jerem. It goes even quicker. By 0.004 of a second. Jerem pips Judge Santi. Pesci will be amongst the next drivers to come through. But here comes the Williams. And here comes Merck. Can he go quicker? He's got a chance. I didn't quite see his timings in the sectors 1 or 2. But what can Merck do? He stays 7th fastest. No improvement. Poem going slow. We'll have to drop down C lane. P14 for him. And down into the line goes Pesci, who goes quickest of all. 25.3. And that will be unmatched here at Silverstone. Jerem and Santi miss out. Pesci takes pole. And it's a brilliant, brilliant time from the McLaren. Flying ahead of Jerem and Judge Santi. Hazer couldn't complete that final lap due to invalidation, of course, but is your championship leader, or should I say your new championship leader. Pesci is on pole position here tonight. Absolutely brilliant stuff from him. NAS Jerem, a thorn in the tail here, with Judge Santi on the 2nd row with Hazer. But wow, those times very strong. All of the top 11 sub 126s. Link's Peace as well to note. Down in P12 for the championship contender. 9 points away from the top 2, Pesci and Hazer. So he's going to have a lot of work to do from P12. He did take a lot of time to get a lap in all fairness to the Red Bull. Well, P12, what can he do from P12? That's the question. But never mind that, because Pesci is on pole position here. And the McLaren flying high. Let's go through the full qualifying results then for you. But again, a superb lap time from Pesci as the Scotsman goes through. A 25.387. He holds off the Frenchman Elias Girem. A 25.6. 2/10 of a second between them, and just in behind them is the Haas of Judge Santi. He'll start on the second row alongside the AlphaTauri of Hazer. And you've got Black Panther alongside the Aston Martin of Mr. Poem. Again, very close between those two. In fact, very close all the way down towards the fourth row of Merck and Rusted Bolt. The fifth row of the two Alpines, Coffee and Tajani as well. So you've got to say, all of those in the top 10, particularly between about P5 to P10, are remarkably close. A 10th of a second exactly between those 5 drivers. Bad Boy takes 11th. And you've got Lynx, Kennedy, Salty Stevens, C-Lane, Prezi. And the final driver was Mr. Potwash. And that will be your 17 driver grid for the race. We're just going to take a few minutes of a break. And we'll be back in just a moment. 5 minutes, of course, for the race. How will it go? Be back in a second. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and the race will get started very, very shortly. Again, here at Silverstone, this will be an almighty race, I imagine. The battle for the slipstream will be crucial, and here we go. And it is lights out, and it's go, go, go! Pesci and Jerem, looks like a slow getaway at the front of the field, but Pesci does lead away to turn one as Hazer squabbling side by side right now with Judge Santi. Hazer clears Judge Santi, and up into the top three goes Hazer, the AlphaTauri, with a great start then. Further down the field, Bolt, Coffey, Tajani, Badboy, Kennedy, Stolt, Stevens, all trading positions, but Pesci gets away clearly in the race lead. Great start at the front then from your championship leader, and Jerem following in behind as we now get the full details on for you. And there are your tyre situations. Link's Peace taking the place off Tajani and going side by side. Also further up the field, I see Rusted Bolt trying to battle out with Merck. And here we go, a chance here for Rusted Bolt potentially to get out the Williams. Here already, is it going to make a surprising dive? A chance here, and he goes for it round the outside. Merck is going for the inside line, and Rusted Bolt, before they get to bang it to Beckett, through goes Rusted Bolt into the top 7 on the hard tyres. A superb overtake there on lap 1, and we've seen it from Rusted Bolt. Pesci, meanwhile, was on the soft tyres, so it was an impressive getaway from him, but again, he's on the soft. Those behind him are on the hards, except for Mr. Poem. So Miss Pesci clearly going for the quicker strategy here. Link's Peace takes the place of Coffee as well, and down to Johnny, battling his way with Bad Boy. Bad Boy dropping places, and Bad Boy's dropped so many places, he's down to last place now. And further up the field we go towards Bolt and Mr. Poem trading places, and the battle goes on. Poem squeezes through, and Bolt loses out. Merck is still right there in the frame. Do not discount the Williams, but Merck and Mr. P have Rusted Bolt for company here for a place in the top 6, with Black Panther ahead. Judge Santi losing ground on Hazer, and the top 3 now are being separated as Pesci pulls clear here as we kickstart lap 2. And Coffee, Merck is losing places, firstly to Coffee, secondly to Link's Peace. He's dropped down as Link's Peace trying to battle out with Coffee. Side by side they go, bit of contact perhaps, and that means Merck can go through. Tajani now battling his way with Kennedy, and a little bit of contact again, nothing severe. Tajani takes the place of Kennedy into 11th place then. Goes the Alpine of Tajani. It's a nice move from him. And now, can he get his way through on Link's Peace? Again, Tajani's on the hard tyres. Pesci's strategy call, very interesting to see. And let's go back then towards Link's Peace. Tajani, though, is all over the Red Bull now, so there could be an opportunity here for the Alpine. Maybe from Kennedy, maybe for Link's Peace. Here comes the Red Bull down the inside, thinking about the move down into Stowe, but he doesn't quite go for it because he gets the exit he needs. And into Vale, side by side they come, and here we go between Link's Peace and Merck. We cannot get a good angle because the game doesn't want us to get a good angle. But either way, Link's Peace does take Merck, and here comes Tajani, here comes Kennedy. They're going at it almost 3 wide, and I think the Alpine stays ahead. Kennedy's car moving around quite a lot, it's fair to say. In fact, I can't quite see where Kennedy's car is because it is moving quite severely, in fact. So a little bit worried on that, potentially a connection issue there for the Mercedes. But he does lose the places, I'm afraid, to a few drivers ahead. Let's go towards Black Panther because, again, he's well within the DRS range of Judge Santi. We do get DRS this lap as well, don't forget. But now Black Panther has got Judge Santi ahead. Judge Santi struggling to keep up with Hazer. Hazer struggling to keep up with LAS Jerem. It's an interesting one, that one, because obviously Jerem just about returning after a couple of weeks away. Hazer now struggling to keep pace with the Ferrari on the hard tyres. Pesci leading on the softs. He's doing well. Let's go back down again towards a battle for 9th place. Links, Merck and Tajani. Merck not getting the start he would have wanted, being dragged into this battle further down the field. Black Panther takes Judge Santi on the straight, and that was down the hanger straight and up into 4th place. Black Panther goes as Merck and Tajani going at it this time around. The Alpine and the Williams, Link's Peace waiting. And here we go with this duo. Who will get ahead? I think it will be And yes, it is Tajani. Oh, Merck's losing places here. He's lost the place to Kennedy now. He did lose a place to Lynx. He lost the place to Tajani. And now he loses the place to Salty Stevens. Down to P12, Merck goes. Really struggling in this race here, Merck. I wonder if it may be a setup issue or what is it with Merck at the moment, because he's not keeping up with the guys ahead. Sadly for him, down to P12 with Steve Lane next up in the picture. It's not quite a long DRS train at the minute, because you've got the DRS train from P3 down to P7. Russell Bolt just hanging on. Coffee also there as well on those medium tyres, just about staying around the 1 second mark. A move was made further down the field. Can't quite see who did make it as Merck and C-Lane hold a place. Kennedy has lost places. So Kennedy, in fact, has made a mistake. Oh yeah, he made that mistake a couple of laps ago. Ignore me. It might have been, I think, Mr. Potwash and Prezi potentially trading places. Potwash up into the top 15. Bad Boy now is going to go for the overtake. We'll stick with this one, though, because Mr. Poem is going to battle it out, rather, with Judge Santi. Winhouse and Martin go for the position here. Bad Boy stays behind Prezi. Prezi is going to try and take the place of Mr. Potwash. I think he may indeed get the position done. Yes, he does. But Potwash is squabbling it back. So they're going at it here. And let's go down towards this one, because they're both going for the position here as Prezi battling out with Mr. Potwash again. Bad Boy waiting in the mirrors here. Bad Boy goes through on Prezi, and Bad Boy takes Potwash. Oh, brilliant stuff. 2 places in 1 corner. Beautiful from the Red Bull, and into 15th place he goes. It may not be major in terms of only 15th place, but he takes 2 drivers in 1 corner as Prezi tries to take Mr. Potwash down the inside. And wow, what a beautiful overtake there. Double overtake from Bad Boy, and up into P15 goes the Red Bull. Can Prezi fight it back here with Mr. Potwash? Wouldn't have expected us to be watching a battle at the back of the field, but that's what we're doing right now. And let's see if either of these can make an overtake. I'm just still watching the deltas up ahead. Mr. Poem getting very close towards Judge Santi, still about 0.2 of a second. And we may hover away to this now. We'll go towards Mr. Poem then. Next up for him is Judge Santi to get himself into the top 5 here for the reigning champion. Can Mr. Poem do something on those medium tyres? Don't forget, still a bit of a DRS train between P3 down to P8, but the issue is for Hazer. He is losing place to Jerem. Jerem is gaining on the race leader, Pesci. This is Jerem's race at the moment to lose. Steve Lane taking Merck as well, down a hanger straight, and up into 12th place goes Steve Lane. And let's go towards Salty Stevens. He's having a little battle right now with the Red Bull of Lynx. Lynx Piece has gained a couple of places on the race start, but it's only a couple of places into the top 10. So not ideal really from him, but still was a good couple of places. Salty Stevens and C-Lane both up 3 positions each. Mr. Potwash with the first time penalty of the evening, 3 seconds for him. Down in P16, still battling with Prez. In all fairness, I did have a prediction that those two would have a battle in this race, and I was correct. They are having a battle for position in this race. Bad Boy still trying to work his way through, by the way. P15, he's trying to catch the little pack up ahead from P9 to Tajani down towards Kennedy. As again, these two, Prezi and Potwash, go for it. Prezi taking Potwash. This may be a battle throughout the entirety of the race here between those two. And Kennedy is closing up the gap. I do get the impression, though, that LAS GRM is not going to hang around behind Pesci for much longer. Pesci on those soft tyres, don't forget. I'm sure he's going for one stopper. Here comes Kennedy. Through it to Maggot, to Beckett. He goes off track. He goes. Through goes Merklin as a result. Bad Boy has a chance, you know, to get at this group now because of that mistake from Kennedy. Merck loses a bit of time. Kennedy loses time, but he's regaining it here on the hanger straight. But Merck stays ahead. Kennedy didn't even have DRS, I don't believe. Merck, in fact, did have DRS. The Bad Boy is a little bit closer. I do think Kennedy certainly has, I don't know, some sort of connection issue that he had earlier. I don't know if he's still got it. This car doesn't seem to be moving too much right now. We'll go further up again, as Jerome, in fact, has taken Pesci for the race lead, presuming that was also on the hanger straight. And either way, Jerome is up into the race lead. P1 then. Can Pesci hold on those soft tyres? Of course, they are building a gap, and not just a gap. but it is a humongous gap at over 4 seconds to Hazer now. Wow, Jerem's pace tonight has been quite something, it's fair to say. I don't know if anybody, maybe Pesci, but again he's on softs and he still couldn't even create much of a gap towards Jerem. I think this has got to be Jerem's race to lose unless he makes a strategy blunder. Or a safety car. A safety car can obviously impact things here. But wow, and let's see what Black Panther's up to, because he has got Hazer up ahead. Hazer has been able to hold on to the top 3, but with Black Panther this close, maybe Black Panther wants to get a move on. And here he goes. We'll go also quickly with Pesci, but doesn't get the move done. Black Panther does get the move done on the hanger straight, and into Stowe. Black Panther onto the podium and into P3. Pesci still close towards Jerem. Again, maybe Pesci just wanting to work with the Ferrari potentially. I mean, the bigger picture for Pesci is second place would be a good result if it means Jerem wins. Link's Peace is into the pits. What's happened here? Bad Boy also into the pits. So the 2 Red Bulls and both boxing early. Bad Boy with a 5-second penalty, and out of the race is Bad Boy. Retiring in the pits. Wow. Not what he would have wanted there, unfortunately, but he is out of the race and trading places here as Pesci goes back down the inside. Jerem's still trying to fight it out, and let's see if they'll be able to do anything here. And now on the exit, is there a chance for Jerem, or will he wait for DRS out of Maggot to Beckett on the hanger straight? Go into Cop's corner then, now going into Maggot, as Russet Bolt takes the place of Mr. Poem as well, and that was before Cop's corner, so a great move from now for Tavi, getting his way into the top 6. Bad Boy now leaving the session, out of the Grand Prix as LAS Jerem, still catching up towards Pesci. 0.3 of a second, 0.2 of a second, 1/10 of a second, down the inside goes the Ferrari, and Jerem back into the race lead. Are they working together or not is the question, but they do have a 4-second advantage over Black Panther. But Black Panther, to be fair, is holding on to 3rd place. Hayes is still behind him. So Black Panther is the one trying to do the work in that battle for the podium places. As Bad Boy says, he picked up rear wing damage. Oh, that's painful. I wonder why. When did you pick up that rear wing damage? Is the question actually. Nick's Piece, meanwhile, did opt for the hard compound tyre. But yeah, where did you get the rear wing damage? Was it earlier in the race? Is that when you got the rear wing damage? Because I know obviously you lost places. Earlier, anyways, back to the action. Jerem and Pesci still where they are. Well, further down the field, you've got Hazer catching again towards Black Panther. I spun out of Stowe, no matter. Oh, not as you pitted. Ow. That is a rookie ever. A rookie ever there to do that in the pit lane. Wow. I was saying, to be fair, I know you had some issues last night. I mean, I don't know, it's difficult to say if they are still issues here at Silverstone or not. Maybe, I presume they still are then. I don't know, maybe amend the setup a little bit, I'd say. Either way, let's go down. Mr. Poem here, all over Russet Bolt, but not making a move. And there you go, so Bolt holding on, as Salty Stevens and Chajani going at it, and now Poem makes a move, of course he does. Just as I move away from this little battle, Mr. Poem up into the top 6. Oh, damn, I hope you feel better soon, man. Now, fair enough. I'm a bit surprised you raced, to be fair. Maybe I would have thought you might have wanted to let maybe Ghost have a little race. Because I know he signed up as a Hilda, so I didn't know, maybe it would have been better for yourself as well. Just so that you don't have to go through this race whilst feeling unwell. Right, let's see further down. Merck now catching Steel Lane. Again, I don't know what has happened to Merck this race. Is he in tyre management mode or what? If it's tyre management mode, maybe it could work. If it's not tyre management work, this is a problem for Merck. because he has not been gaining anything in this race. Again, don't forget he started directly behind Mr. Poem in the top 7, and now he's down to P12 and still struggling to make up any places. Tajani and Salty Stevens almost going at it through Maggott and Beckett here. Getting very close there, the Alpine driver. A little bit slippery on the exit, and here's a chance for Steel Lane and potentially Merck as well. But here comes the Aston Martin of Steel Lane, a 5-way battle for P9. And Tajani taking Salty Stevens then. They go through. Steel Lane is still in the picture there. A little bit of a twitch there from Salty Stevens. He goes down here to the Aston Martin. The Aston leaves him space. Has he held the place here? Steel Lane loses out to 1, loses out to 2, loses out to 3, but through and off track goes the Mercedes. This will give a chance to Merck. Merck goes into the top 10 now. Merck has made up the 2 spots. The 2 Mercedes are in behind them, with Steel Lane down to P13, and now the 2 Mercedes are going neck and neck. Salty Stevens maybe just letting Kennedy go through into 11th place. Fair enough towards Salty Stevens, letting his teammate through. But there you go, it just showcased Salty Stevens has the pace here to battle it out in Tier 1, no doubt about it. We saw it from Ghost, I believe, was it last week? Ghost was definitely in that 11-way battle at Paul Ricard, and Salty Stevens is certainly in this battle with the likes of Merck, Kennedy, Tajani, Steel Lane as well. I know it's further down the field, but still, he's certainly in this battle. Prez again making a place on Mr. Potwash. Also the question for Link's Piece, is he on a 2-stopper or is that just a massive undercut? They will struggle come the end of that race, so let's see what Link's Piece does, maybe wanting a safety car. Prez and Mr. Potwash still going at it side by side here. I think I may have to move away very soon as off track goes Potwash. Oh, penalty for Pesci. 3-second time penalty for the McLaren off Pesci in P2. He's still in DRS range meanwhile. Oh, Hazer's into the pit. It's an early undercut then from Hazer. This must be medium tyres. It's a very early undercut, this one from Hazer. He started on the hards, don't forget. And Merck as well, he's getting a bit of his medium tyres. This is an interesting call here from Hazer. I'm sure he's got to go for the mediums, and indeed, medium tyres on for Hazer. He's going to have to take them to the very end of this Grand Prix, maybe. Did not enjoy those hard tyres whatsoever. I mean, one man who has enjoyed the hard tyres it has been Jerem, leading the way, and leading the way by not a margin, but a margin considering the tyres that Pesci started on. Still on the soft, and Pesci is now outside of DRS range on LAS Jerem. And there you go, that Ferrari has a clear advantage now. Black Panther as well on the podium. It's a great evening's work from Ferrari so far. P1 and P3 for Jerem and Black Panther, both on the hard tyres. Mr. Poem catching Judge Santi. Judge Santi keeping a battle with Black Panther, but not particularly close towards the Ferrari, and Coffee, Russell Bolt in there as well. Russell Bolt driving along nicely. So let's see where they are. Hazer is still ahead of Link's Piece meanwhile on 4-lap fresh tyres. Merck is behind Link's Piece by 5 seconds. And into the pit goes Mr. Poem, and into the pit goes Pesci. And Coffee receives a 5-second time penalty for the Alpine of Coffee. So now he will be dropping places. Currently, obviously, well, he was battling in that top 6, top 7 group. Definitely won't be there come the end of the race with that 5-second time penalty, unfortunately. Hard tyres on for Coffee. Medium tyres are on for Pesci. So it's a soft to medium for the McLaren then. Makes you wonder, what does LAS Jerem do? And what does Black Panther do as well? We've got Judge Santi still there. And a Rusted Bolt just outside the 1 second window. He's got to try and get himself back within a second now on that duo. Maybe he has to use a little bit of ERS rather, just to ensure he gets within 1 second of Judge Santi. He is 9/10 away. Kennedy with a 3-second time penalty. He has also boxed for fresh, hard tyres. And Hazer takes the place of Mr. Potwash. And up into the top 10 goes the AlphaTauri. Hazer now has got Prez for company. Our purple sector 1 also, and Hazer down the inside of Prez, not fighting at the Alfa Romeo, knows he's not the quicker of the two, And there you go, through goes Hazer and up into 9th place. I'll say Prezi and Mr. Potwash did have a fun little battle between themselves, and that could still continue as well. Mr. Poem is all over Link's piece, and Salty Stevens losing a place to Steel Lane, down a hanger straight into Stowe, and now as Black Panther boxes, as does Rusted Bolt. Black Panther also with a 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane for the Ferrari. Maybe it's not going to be a double podium then. That is damaging for Black Panther's Grand Prix here. Let's have a little look also. We have a little look at the gap to the leader. We'll have a look at this just because as Mr. Poem has taken Link's piece. Link's piece on the 5-lap old hard tyres. Link's piece on Mr. Poem rather on fresh hards. And Hazer takes the fastest lap of a 28.4. How far behind Pesci is he? He's a couple of seconds behind. About 2.5 seconds the gap between Pesci and Hazer. Now we've got a gap to the leader to see what the gap between themselves and LES Jerem will be. Rusted Bolt comes out the pit and is just in the midst of this battle between Lynx and Coffee now. So he's on the fresh medium tyres for Rusted Bolt as Black Panther takes Mr. Potwash. And into 9th place, Black Panther goes. Again, don't forget, 5-second penalty for the Ferrari of Black Panther. Now Mr. Potwash pretty much moves off track to let Mr. Poem go through. And now Link's piece, I think Mr. Potwash perhaps won't really battle that one. Black Panther takes the place of Prezi and up into 8th place he goes. Mr. Poem also there. Got to feel sorry for Prezi and Mr. Potwash right now because they do not know what to do. They're like trying to move out of the way. It's LES Jerem, the race leader, is in. Judge Shanti stays out. And Tajani is also in. The majority down there are all in. Aston Martin and the Mercedes. Both C-Lane and Salty Stevens all pitting. Tajani with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits as well. Don't forget, 37-mile-per-hour pit limiter around here. Got to hit the 37 or go under the 37 when you get into the pits, or you will receive a time penalty, as several drivers have found out around here. And now let's go with Pesci, because who was ahead? Pesci is clear. What about Hazer? 3 laps older on his tyres. Is he close enough towards LES Jerem? He will get DRS on the Ferrari. They are 3 laps older, but he's got DRS now to boot. Is Hazer back in race winning contention? If he can keep pace with Jerem, he may just be. Black Panther has got Mr. Poem, then he got Lynx losing the position now to Rusted Bolt. Down the straight, through goes the AlphaTauri. Coffee is directly behind them. I think that's also a 5-second penalty there for Coffee as well. But there you go, now Coffee having a little look at Lynx piece. This has not been the best of Grand Prix for Lynx, it's fair to suggest. And this may be a chance now to lose the place. And there you go, Coffee takes the place of Link's piece, and that was heading down into the Mitre Cops corner. Through goes the Alpine then, and into the pits goes the current race leader Judge Santi, and that will mean we're all level peggings here, as Pesci has a good little advantage over Jerem and Hazer. And Mr. Poem taking Black Panther and up into 5th place. Again, Mr. Poem has no penalties. Black Panther has, I believe, a 5-second penalty. And now we'll go to the interval. Judge Santi has opted for the soft compound tyre. Will he have the grip come the end of the race on that Haas car? That's going to be the question for him. But here we go, back to the interval, and let's have a look at position changes and also the penalty situation for you. Just there, as Link's piece and Judge Santi is just out of pit lane ahead of Merck, as Merck almost running into Santi, taking it very, very cautiously on the soft tyres. Incredibly cautiously, I've got to say. I mean, soft tyres? Do you really need to go that cautious on the soft tyres? That's the question. I mean, Judge Santi obviously thinks he does need to, but that is very cautious on those tyres. Tajani takes Kennedy and now is up the position, but Kennedy can have a little look around the outside, maybe try a little switch back. I don't think he's got the grip to quite do that. And the Alpine is up to P11, but can he keep it? As now Judge Santi takes Link's piece. And now into 8th place goes Judge Santi. Next up for him will be UFRL Coffee. 2 seconds up the road is the Alpine. But Judge Santi will have to defend for both Lynx and Merck, who will both get DRS of each other. And also Black Panther taking Mr. Poem down the hanger straight and up into P4. Hazer still hanging on to Jerem on 3 laps older medium tyres. So this could be beneficial, you know, for Hazer's race. Let's go further down towards Merck again, tracking down Link's piece. Both on hard tyres, both tried somewhat of an undercut. I've got to say, it doesn't look like it's going to be particularly favourable to either of them. It's looking very, very damaging right now for both drivers. Fortunately, the two behind them have time penalties, otherwise I don't think they'd stand much of a chance. Let's stick with Merck actually, he is the closest driver of anybody on track, although Prezi and Mr. Potwash still vying for position down there in P15. And there you go, Merck just take the place of Link's piece, and up into 9th place goes the Williams, and now Tajani and Kennedy have both caught up to that battle. Further up the field then, and back with Hazer. Again, I've got to say he's done well to keep up as Link's piece now with a 3-second penalty. Not going to help his championship chances. Struggling in this race is Link's piece. Unfortunately for him, I don't imagine he'll be part of the driver of the day considerations unless he has an incredible final few laps. Still no safety car as well here at Silverstone. Only the one DNF due to rear wing damage that he picked up going into the pit lane for Bad Boy. Fielding on well though, so maybe it's understandable. And back here as Tajani, back ahead of Merck. And Merck now is Kennedy, and Link's going at it further behind. Kennedy takes Link's as well. Link's piece back into the pits. Is he going to go for softs? Oh, he got a 5-second penalty. If he can't afford to retire. As Potwash also gets a 3-second penalty. Link's cannot afford to retire from the race. No, did he get a wrong memo? Did he get told that it was you can do a one-stop strategy around here? Now he's going for softs. He's used every tyre, hasn't he? Has he used all of the tyres? Hards, mediums and softs? I think he has. Wow, Link's piece really going for it tonight. 2-stop strategy. He's used all 3 tyre compounds. And unfortunately for him, he will be perhaps battling around Prezi and Mr. Potwash once he comes out of the pit lane. Just watching at the moment, yeah, he is. He's just ahead of him actually, so he's just ahead. I'm not surprised Prezi and Mr. Potwash having a battle between themselves. Good to see, to be fair. Both drivers are probably tier 2 pace, certainly Mr. Potwash, who I'm actually battling with in position for the championship actually in tier 2. But anyways, so a little battle there between Prezi and Mr. Potwash, but here we go, and Mr. Poem battling away with Black Panther again. Black Panther with the penalty, and down the inside on the hanger straight goes Mr. Poem, and into a corner. Mr. Poem up into 4th place. No chance to stow for Black Panther to defend on that one. The Panther is keeping up with Mr. Poem pretty well. Hazer meanwhile has lost that 1-second DRS range on Jerem. Jerem is trying to catch Pesci. Is Pesci at threat of losing a place to Hazer? That's the question now. Both are on medium tyres, don't forget. And of course, Pesci with that 3-second time penalty could give Hazer a chance of gaining a place. Sadly for Pesci, Hazer I don't think is going to lose out on the podium around here. Just Santi on soft, it's not really worked in favour of him at the moment, has it? I mean, he will gain the places of the 2 drivers ahead with the time penalties taken into consideration. Can he get himself ahead of Mr. Poem will be the next question. Kennedy and Merck going at it again. And who is ahead? Kennedy squeezing his Mercedes ahead and up into the top 10. And the 2 Alpines have done well to pull clear of this little battle between these 2 drivers. So fair play to both Coffey and Tajani in that respect. But there you go, Kennedy and Merck still going at it. As Merck within a 1/10 of a second of the Mercedes. No battery as well for Merck. Really struggling in this race. Maybe I was wrong earlier, maybe Silverstone is just not his track. Let's go back up then as Black Panther retaking the place of Mr. Poem. And up into 4th place the Ferrari goes into Stowe once more. Now we approach heading into Vale. There you go, Black Panther up into 4th place. Again, he does have a time penalty of 5 seconds, sadly. Let's have a little look at the penalty situation there for you. Quite a few drivers have picked up 5 seconds. You got Black Panther has done, Coffey, Tajani and Lynx all receiving 5-second time penalties for speeding in the pits. So it's certainly not been beneficial for any of their races. Kennedy did hold on to the place ahead of Merck, but again, Kennedy also with a time penalty. Merck does not have a time penalty and really needs to hold on to ensure he doesn't pick up any penalties. Tajani and Coffey, perhaps they're working together to try and clear Kennedy and in particular clear Merck. Further down the field also, Mr. Potwash taking Prezi Press. Potwash also going off track. Not quite off track through goes Hamilton, but it is going off track nonetheless, but he does hold the place with Prezi Prez still behind him. Back to the front then, because here comes a chance for LAS Jerem, who has caught up to Pesci. And now, with about 6 laps remaining, here comes Jerem's best chance for the overtake. And around the outside, Pesci won't try and defend it too much, I'm sure. And Jerem goes through. Again, Pesci needs to play the longer game here. Second place would be a great result if it means Hazer finishes behind him. And also, Pesci, don't forget, also got the bonus point for pole position. So that could also play a good part. At the moment, Pesci would hold, 3 points? 3 points ahead of Hazer as things stand, I do believe. Yeah, it would be. So you get 1 point for pole and then the extra 2 points currently on Hazer in the race. So there you go. 3 point gap at the moment between Pesci ahead of Hazer in the standings. So further down the field we go towards Merck again, battling away with the Mercedes of Kennedy. I'll say again because I'm thinking about having to move back up towards the top 2 again. I think I may just quickly do so and just see how they're getting on. And there you go, Jerem holding the lead from Pesci. I think Pesci is perhaps just going to bide his time here. Doesn't want a safety car, that's for sure, because that would or could ruin a second place finish for him. Merck again battling with Kennedy. Around the outside goes the Mercedes, but the Williams of Merck stays in the top 10 for the time being. Will he hold on to it? But the Mercedes is going to have another look at him. And here we go. Through it to Copse again. Around the outside coming the Mercedes of Kennedy. Not taking a place, but he'll try a switch back down the inside. Here we go. 2 wide through to Magata Beckett. Who is ahead? Merck is just about ahead. And holds on to the top 10. Battle was a bit... I can't say it's unnecessary. I'm not going to say it's unnecessary because they're obviously losing time to the cars ahead. But Kennedy does have DRS now. And maybe going to try and overtake. And here we go, down the inside into Stowe again goes Kennedy. But Merck stays ahead and stays into the top 10. Back up the field towards Black Panther and Mr. Poem, side by side, heading into Abbey. Who's going to take the place into Abbey? We'll go directly on board with Russell Bolt as Black Panther holds it. Bolt will think about it down the inside. He goes to the outside, switch back. Poem stays ahead, Judd Santi in there as well on the soft tyres. It's a 4-way battle now. The Haas, the AlphaTauri, Aston Martin and the Ferrari. Battle going on at the front as well between Pesci and Jerem. And it's now starting to heat up here at Silverstone as Prezi takes Potwash for P15 once again. Who will come home with the win? Jerem or Pesci? I mean, on track is a battle, but obviously with the penalties taken into consideration, it should be Jerem. Who's going to take home 4th place? That's a bigger question. Poem and Santi will be favourites for that right now. Taking into account the penalty situation once again, there's no certainties over this one. Judd Santi on soft tyres, but on softs will be wearing quicker than each of those of Panther, Poem and Bolt. Ahead, there is no doubt about it. Now back up the lead of the race as Merck has lost the places to Steelane and Kennedy. They're actually having a fierce battle down there. I'm going to have to quickly go towards them because there is a battle going on, no doubt about it here. To Maggots of Beckett. And on the exit of Beckett's they go. Steelane just ahead. Kennedy, Merck and Salty Stevens in there as well. The 2 Mercedes squabbling away with the Merck. And now Merck down the inside. He will have to go to defend the place on Salty Stevens. Salty Stevens picks up a 3-second time penalty. That is his race effectively over. He goes down the inside of Merck, fighting hard for the man in P4 in the championship. Merck stays ahead and stays in P12, but loses time to Kennedy. That may have been what Salty Stevens wanted. He's perhaps trying to get Merck out of that 1-second window, and he may have succeeded in getting Merck out of the 1-second window because Merck does not have DRS on Kennedy, or does he? Back within 9/10 of a second he goes. He got DRS now. We'll go on board directly with Salty Stevens just to see Perhaps see on this view, there's no DRS then for Merck. No DRS at all, but Kennedy does have DRS, and down the inside goes the Mercedes on Steelane, and Kennedy back into the top 10. Steelane goes for the move down the inside. Has he got it? Oh, what a move! What a move, son! Through goes the Aston Martin, and Steelane back into the top 10. Here comes Merck now for another chance. Can he get himself through around the outside? Through into Cop's corner, no chance of the move there. As he got switched back into Maggotts and Beckett's, not quite. The Mercedes of Kennedy stays in P11. Again, he's got a time penalty, but it's brilliant battling between this quadruple of drivers here of Steelane, Kennedy, Merck and Salty Stevens. The battle for the win is still living on between Jerem and Pesci. Gotta say, Jerem has done a superb job tonight. His pace has been emphatic. And there you go. Oh! Steelane is out. It's not out completely, but that may be rear wing damage as well. Around he goes. I'm not sure what his car is doing right now. He's taking it incredibly slowly. Steelane. And that was that with Kennedy perhaps? They're still going at it here in this three-way battle. Kennedy, Merck and Salty Stevens. But that has killed off Steelane's chances of a top 10 finish. And now they're going at it again. Merck, the only one of these drivers without a time penalty, don't forget. And Steelane retiring in the pit. Gutting for the Aston Martin. They were driving so well between themselves. And sadly there has been an incident. Merck going through and Kennedy trying to take it back. Now they are still going at it. And here goes Merck around the bend. They go. Merck takes the place of Kennedy. Brilliant battling this is for a place in the top 10. Merck should still hold on to the place with the penalties taken into consideration. And around the outside into Copse they go. Kennedy ahead of Merck. Has he taken it into Copse? Yes, he has. And now there's a chance for Salty Stevens as well. Directly on board here with Salty Stevens. They're still going at it. I can't even go to the race leaders because of this battle. And now, Salty Stevens with the exit is going for the move on Merck. He may go for the move on Kennedy as well. And it will be a three-way almost battle here into Stowe. But Salty Stevens clears the pairing. How can I move away from this battle was the question. Lads, you've got to stop battling. I need to go to the race leaders here. I can't keep up with this one. As Steelane has left the session, I can't quite go to the leaders whilst these three are battling like this. There's a little bit of a gap going on. Okay, whilst the gap is there, I'm going to go to the top two because Jerem and Pesci are battling for the win. I know Pesci will take P2 on track, there's no doubt about it with the time penalties, but Jerem is going to want to win this race on track after the race he has driven. He has been absolutely superb. Pesci has been brilliant as well, don't forget. P2 will still be a very strong result for him. And I don't think Pesci will go too hard in for an overtake, knowing he doesn't want to risk a penalty. And there won't be any advantages of pushing too hard unless Jerem makes a mistake. SC anyways, onto the hangar straight they go. Unless Pesci thinks to get rid of his 3-second penalty through an appeal. It could happen, I suppose. But Jerem is still fighting, and now down the inside Jerem. Around the outside goes Pesci. And has Pesci got a chance of a switch back? Not quite. The Ferrari staying ahead and staying in the race lead here. And now, lap 26 kickstarts right here. The Ferrari heading the McLaren into turn 1 at Abbey. Who will take the victory on track? We all know Jerem is going to surely win this race due to the penalty situation, which we'll just move to now so you all know what is going on. Who's got the fastest lap right now? It is in the way of Tajani. So Tajani has the fastest lap for the Alpine, but that has the gap to the leader. And now Pesci is going to stay in behind. Or is he? He's gone down the inside of Jerem. Jerem, though, with the wider line, is still keeping up with it. Pesci holding it around the outside. Can he hold it against the Ferrari? Still squabbling away, are they? Yes, they are. But Jerem stays ahead. There should be one major chance. But down into Cop's corner. Will the McLaren go for it down the inside? He goes for a little look in, but he stays in behind. Pesci knows the best chance of an overtake will be down the hangar straight. And now into Maggotts and Beckett for the final time come this duo. And Pesci is surely going to come away with an on-track win. He just needs to ensure he gets through on the Ferrari. Here we go, and down he is on he will go. The Ferrari tried to put pressure on him with a little late move, but couldn't take it. Pesci will come through, and on track Pesci will take the win. And now into Vale, and on the exit of Vale they go. And into Club, down into the Hamilton straight. Pesci wins on track, but Jerem wins through the time penalty situation. The Ferrari victorious on return to UFRL. Hayes are on the podium, no surprises there. And the two title contenders continue to squabble for the title, with what looks to be 3 points between Pesci ahead of Hazer heading into round 11. Poem takes P4 from Judge Santi. Bolt edges out Black Panther of the penalty for Panther, which was 5 seconds. Coffee ahead of Tajani. Merck is ahead of Kennedy and Salty Stevens. That Salty Stevens, I've got to say, put in a great effort as a reserve. We'll wait on the Red Bull of Link's Peace as well, currently in P13, and the fact that he's gone wide compounds his misery in this race. P13 it is for the Red Bull. And there you go, started P12, finished P13. It has not been the Red Bull's evening. Still, you could argue that he's still in the title race, but he's dropped a lot of points to that top 2. Mr. Potwash will come through P14, but he will not hold on to it. I think, actually, has he slowed down potentially? Presid's ran out of fuel. Has he? Or is he just letting Mr. Potwash have the 6 seconds? Maybe just letting Potwash have the 6 seconds there. I want to know if he did. Did he get the 6 seconds back or not? Maybe he did. There you go. Prezi has just lost Alfa Romeo a point. Oh, bless Alfa Romeo hearts. They must be devastated. They've lost a point there. But either way, that is the victory. Brilliant race. And Elias Jerem comes home with the win. I also just realised Elias Jerem followed an hour ago. Thank you for that as well. No, there you go. Maybe that was the good luck charm that he needed. He followed the stream and boom, all of a sudden he comes home with the win. And there you go, that Ferrari on top of the podium. Brilliant, brilliant stuff from him. I know full well he'll be on the Driver of the Day contenders list. Who else will be on there is the question. And I will have to have a think about that, because a lot of drivers did drive really well. There's certainly a few drivers who really struggled, unfortunately. But anyways, congratulations once again to your race winner, Elias Jerem. P2 to P1, not a big game, but no safety cars. He was probably the driver who deserved the win the most. Pesci did really well, and again, I would say he deserved to get second place. That top 2, I have no doubts, deserved to be where he finished. Hayes a P3, a great podium for him. He wasn't quite there with the pace compared to that top 2, but he's not lost a lot of points in compared to Pesci, only 3 points behind, so we won't complain too much about that. Mr. Poem P4, strong result for him, just missing out on the podium. Further down the field was Judge Santi, Rusted Bolt, Black Panther, Coffee, Tajani and Merck, all in the top 10 with the 2 Mercedes in behind. But wow, a frantic race here at Silverstone, and that has been the race win for Elias Jerem 97. That Ferrari right there. Not me, I can promise it wasn't me. It was that Ferrari right there. Finally get onto him, but there you go. Brilliant effort and a well-deserved victory. Post penalties, of course, edging out United Pesci. Good performance from Pesci as well, gotta say. But anyways, brilliant race here in Tier 1. Now the odd couple of bits, but you know what? You've got to take into consideration how close those drivers were in that race. There were like 5-6 drivers at times battling each other, all within a few tenths of a second of each other. I know there was an incident, I think, with Steve Lane and a Mercedes. I'm not sure which one exactly. It may have been Kennedy, but again, I'm not too certain. But again, factor in, they were so close to each other through not just that corner, not just through Stowe, but they were side by side battling. They would go side by side through like Maggots and Beckett's. They would go side by side through at Copse Corner. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going side by side through Lee's incredible corners, You know, some of the greatest corners in Formula One, and also the trickiest corners in Formula One to go side by side in. If you only get one incident despite all the side by side battles, you can't complain that much. So in all fairness, again, I don't know if there's only one or two incidents or whatever, but it did seem a very clean, very exciting race. And there you go. Very much enjoyed it from my side. Again, a couple of drivers did struggle. Lynx, Peace, and Merck are probably the two that you'd look at and think that wasn't their finest of races in terms of outright straight line speed or outright pace. But they still take home some points, and certainly Pesci and Hazer, I think, will be happy with their overall results. Pesci finishing ahead of Hazer. Hazer not having the pace, but still finishing best of the rest effectively, with LAS Jerem taking the win. But yeah, anyways, that will be the stream for tonight. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have enjoyed it, or if you have just finished the race, of course, I hope you feel free to watch it back, because it was exciting. A lot of side-by-side battling throughout the whole race. So I'd argue the best overtakes that I saw. I mean, Bad Boy did a brilliant overtake earlier in the race. He overtook two drivers in one corner. So even though he's been feeling unwell, he was still able to do that brilliant double overtake. And there were obviously quite a few going through Copse Corner in particular, which was mighty impressive. But anyways, that's a stream. I have been UFRL F1 Viva. We have been UFRL. And that's been a Tier 1 race completed tonight. Back on racing for Tier 2 tomorrow night, 8 o'clock PM. And it will be a one-shot quali at Monza. So watch out for that one. Anyways, thank you for watching, and good night.